Walk into any independent diesel shop in rural America and ask the owner a simple question. Will you work on a 2024 Freightliner Cascadia? Watch his face. The answer is almost always the same. He will point to the row of older Peterbilts and Kenworths in his lot and tell you those are the trucks he works on. The new ones go to the dealer. Not because he lacks skill, not because he lacks desire. He sends them away because the manufacturer made it nearly impossible for him to fix them without spending a small fortune on software he will never own. If you have ever been told by a shop that they cannot touch your new diesel truck, subscribe to this channel. We explain the real reasons behind the repair industry's biggest divide. The first barrier is diagnostic software. A modern Class 8 diesel truck runs over 100 electronic control modules, sensors, and actuators. The engine alone has sensors for crankshaft position, camshaft position, boost pressure, exhaust gas temperature at multiple points, NOx levels before and after the catalytic converter, DPF soot loading, DEF quality, DEF temperature, and ambient air conditions. When any one of these sensors fails or sends a bad reading, the engine control module can derate the truck or shut it down entirely. Diagnosing which sensor caused the problem requires manufacturer-specific software running on a compatible diagnostic laptop. A full dealer-level diagnostic setup for a single truck brand costs $8,000 to $15,000 in software licenses, hardware interfaces, and annual subscription fees. An independent shop that services Cummins, Detroit Diesel, Caterpillar, and PACCAR engines needs separate software packages for each one. The total investment can reach $40,000 to $60,000 before the mechanic even picks up a wrench. Compare that to diagnosing a problem on a 1996 Peterbilt with a mechanical Caterpillar 3406E engine. The mechanic checks fuel pressure with a gauge. He checks boost pressure with a gauge. He inspects the turbocharger for shaft play by hand. He adjusts the injectors with a torque wrench and a feeler gauge. The entire diagnostic process relies on mechanical knowledge, physical measurements, and experience. The tools required cost a few $100s total. A good mechanic can pinpoint a problem on a pre-emissions diesel engine faster with a stethoscope and a test light than a dealership technician can with a $50,000 laptop setup. The second barrier is software lockout on critical repairs. Modern truck manufacturers have tied certain repair procedures to proprietary software authorization. Replacing an injector on a new Cummins engine requires the diagnostic software to perform an injector trim code calibration after installation. Without that calibration step, the engine will not run correctly. Replacing a DPF filter on a new Kenworth requires the after-treatment control module to be reset and recalibrated through dealer software. Even something as routine as replacing a turbocharger actuator on a modern diesel engine requires electronic recalibration that only the manufacturer's software can perform. An independent mechanic can physically remove and replace the part, but the truck will not function properly until a dealer-level computer authorizes the new component. This is the digital wall that separates independent shops from the trucks they use to fix. The third barrier is profit margin. A DPF filter replacement on a new truck costs the customer between $5,000 and $8,000 in parts and labor. But the independent shop's margin on that job is thin because the parts must come from the manufacturer at full dealer cost, and the diagnostic time eats into labor profitability. An independent mechanic can rebuild a turbocharger on an older Detroit Diesel Series 60 for $800 in parts and 4 hours of labor, and the shop makes strong profit on every one of those jobs. The older trucks generate consistent, predictable revenue for the shop. The new trucks generate headaches, warranty disputes, and calls to dealer technical support hotlines. The workforce gap makes the problem worse. Young mechanics entering the diesel trade face a choice. They can learn to work on mechanical engines where the skills transfer across decades of truck models, Or they can specialize in electronic diagnostics for one manufacturer's platform and hope that platform does not change with the next model year. Many experienced mechanics in their 50s and 60s built their entire careers on engines like the Cummins N14, the Caterpillar 3406, and the Detroit Diesel Series 60. These men can rebuild those engines from memory. They know every torque specification, every clearance, every common failure point from decades of hands-on work in the shop. Asking them to invest in expensive software training for a truck that will be redesigned in 3 years is not a reasonable ask, so they stick with what they know and they turn away the new trucks. The result is a growing split in the diesel repair industry. Dealer networks handle new trucks with proprietary tools and factory-trained technicians charging premium labor rates that often exceed $150 per hour. Independent shops handle pre-emissions trucks with mechanical expertise and reasonable shop rates. Owner-operators who run older trucks benefit from lower repair costs, faster turnaround, and a mechanic who actually understands every system on their engine. Owner-operators stuck with new trucks face longer. Wait times at dealer service centers, higher bills, and the constant risk that a software-related issue will keep their Mack or Freightliner parked for days, while a technician waits for a remote authorization code. The independent diesel shop is not disappearing. It is adapting by focusing on the trucks it can still fix profitably. These shops keep a loyal customer base of owner-operators who understand that a good mechanic with a wrench is worth more than a dealer service bay full of computers. Every exhaust stack from the 1990s that rolls into the bay represents a job that can be completed with a torque specification chart and hard-earned skill. Every new truck that rolls past represents a job that requires a software subscription, a manufacturer hotline, and a prayer that the electronic calibration works on the first attempt. If this video helped you see why the diesel repair world is splitting in two, subscribe to this channel. We stand with the mechanics and the owner-operators who keep American diesel trucks running with real tools and real knowledge.